scum! Lie dead at my
Hello guys, welcome to my first video on this channel. Today I'm gonna try to do a Dragon Ball Legends top 10 tier list. Because this is my first video, I'm a little bit nervous, so sorry if I sometimes sound weird and my audio isn't perfect and so on. Before I start, I want to mention some things about this list. Number one, I don't own every single character in this game, so there will be units I can only judge based on fighting in PvP, and some of the units I own are not like 10 stars or 14 stars, so it could be that some units perform better at higher stars and I don't have them there yet, so maybe my judgment is a little bit off, but you can let me know if you have some other experience or I don't notice some things. So I will start I will go from the number 1 and 2 spot and go then downwards. I think that's the best because these units at number 1 and 2 define the meta the most and that influence the placement of the units that come next. Number 1 and 2 are obvious, I think. That's Beast Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. If I had to choose who would be like the number 1, I would say Beast, because I think the meta and PvP is more focused around him than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but I think Super Saiyan 3 Goku is just way too unchecked and too broken right now, not to be considered number 1 too. I'll start with Beast though. He obviously as I said, most focused in PvP right now. He has a lot of teams, let it be Hybrid, Sun Family, movies, or yellow green team, whatever. For example, with Gogeta down here, and then maybe whatever Super Saiyan 3 Goku as the third, or God Goku. Many things you can do. His disrupt is annoying. He has cost increase for every card you use, which inflicts the whole enemy team, so that can be really annoying, and that influences a lot with units. And of course, the Special Beam Cannon, really strong. At high stars, sometimes it's a guaranteed one shot. If you get catched once, you switch into Beast, drop combo, Special Beam Cannon. You can't switch out in time. You're dying. That's really good. His unique gauge is also hindering, but I don't think it's as bad because if you have another unit that's with ultimate you don't really need, you can just throw that to remove his buff removal or his unique gauge if he switches in, or he can't switch out and is already inside. So I think that isn't the biggest issue, but it can prevent you sometimes from killing units or something. So yeah, that's why I have him here. And Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Yeah, this guy is probably the most annoying unit, I think, because if his unique gauge is full, which is easy to do, you just have to charge key, and he transforms. He's immune to cost increase, he's immune to card destruction, he draws infinite cards, he notifies endurance every time he enters the battlefield for 15 counts, so if you don't have a unit that cancels buffs on rush, he can rush freely and so on dies. That's really annoying. So, and from me, for example, I don't have both of these units, and if I don't have Beast, so that means if I play a team that doesn't have buff cancellation on standby, he can rush me freely, and it's really annoying. Um, and yeah, it's really hard to stop him right now. They're not really that much purple units either. That's the second issue. So like, I mean, you have like the new Goku and kinda Gohan Trunks, but Gohan Trunks is like half blue sometimes. And I think Super Saiyan 3 Goku does a lot of damage to kind of combo through them because these two units are pretty frail. So yeah, he has also a lot of teams. So as I already said, with Beast Gohan, he has Majin Buu Saga, and also green yellow team. Maybe you can do these three together, or with Zamasu, with him and God Goku. So there are a lot of things he can be played with, and yeah, he's just unstoppable right now. So that's why I think he's also arguably number one. But now to number 3 and 4, which is also shared, and I think it's God Goku and Majin Vegeta. These two got a buff thanks to their new PvP update, because a lot of things are more like focused now at mid-range, close range, and that's really, annoying with two area green card users. I mean, you can tackle, and if they strike at you in a sidestep, instant green card gain, that's really annoying. This guy also has a long range blue card, so if they back up, they lose their vanish, and you can just blue card for free. So that's also really annoying. Uh, it's probably even harder to play at close range against him than Majin Vegeta maybe. But Majin Vegeta 2, unique gauge, really annoying. You have a lock in blue. I mean, there are some units now that can kind of handle it, but it can sometimes be annoying. It's also one of the very few things that stop this guy's combo. So that's really good. He has a good team with Vegeta Clan and Majin Buu Saga with him and Gotenks. So that's really good. Airy green card, type neutral, really strong. His lock-in ultimate can be really useful as well. Still, there are some units you can maybe snipe with, or sometimes you can just use it to get the endurance out of the way of some character, or the succession mechanic of these guys, but also not have to worry about his unique gauge because he can't switch in because it's a lock-in. And even sometimes you can just use it against him just to get rid of his unique gauge so he can rush freely now. So I will say his ultimate is still really useful. And God Goku, he's really good, especially at the start of the game. If he gets a combo going, double card draw speed, immunity key reduction. So his amount to cost increase. So like this guy, so these two are really good against Beast. So that's really strong. Good disrupt. He heals good. His main force draws the green cards. That's really good. He gets his vanish back a lot. So sometimes hard to catch this guy. If he vanishes you and gets you on a green card and a combo going, he gets his vanish back. You have to try again to catch him. So, and as I already said, long range blue card. That's type neutral, all the good stuff. So yeah, I think he deserves to be number 3/4. I would put Marjorie in front because I think for me he seems more the number 3 unit, but you can change it as you can see on this list. Number 5, I think right now is Gohan and Trunks. I think they're really good. They have long combos, also have ways to remove debuffs, so good against this guy, while also having abilities to be immune against cost increase, so that's nice. Half purple sometimes, so they're good against these two units sometimes. Um, the Gohan side has AoE green card immunity, so that's helpful right now, especially because of their new PvP change. So helpful against these two. They can sustain a lot, they can heal with the attack switches, or using cards with Gohan, for example. So sometimes they can even last very long before you get the succession triggered. So that's really good. They do good damage, provide sometimes green cards. Post transformation, his blue card is hits really hard, can nullify endurance. Second vanish with the main ability, Rising Rush Ceiling, which is really nice. He has a lot of teams. He's on Sun Family, Vegeta Clan, Hybrids, Future. So he works basically with every character here. I think almost every character on this list is working well with this guy. Um, and for example, with these two locking Rising Rushes, and with on Vegeta Clan with him also locking Rising Rushes, so a lot of Rising Rush Ceiling on that team. And for example, with hybrids, a lot of damage with the pure equipment, with Beast Gohan. You have his unique gauge and buff remove your succession. It's hard to kill anybody on hybrids with these two and whatever third you're gonna use, so that's really strong. Yeah, and I think they're overall really solid and I think deserve to be number 5 right now. For a blue/purple unit, it's really good. considering that the top 4 are green and yellows, they do really well. Yeah. So at number 6, I think I will put Gotenks. Um, Gotenks right now is just a really good third character. He isn't bad at all. I see no issues with him. I have, I would say, more troubles against him than with him. Uh, when I face him, I don't have him, so but on hybrids, providing green cards, if he's paired off with Ultra Gorn, that's really annoying. His main ability gives him anti-endurance, so really good against these Unix, for example, to rush them. If Beast Gorn is not on the team, you can rush them freely. That's really, for sometimes, if you catch in a sidestep, that's really good. Providing green cards, so Magi Busaga for these two is really strong. Could technically maybe pair up with them in leader slot, and that's really strong. So he's immune to cost increase for like 100 counts, I think. So he's good against this guy as well. He doesn't get anti-health restore debuffs from him as well, so that's really good. He's supporting, has endurance, feint potential, or Rainbow Destruction with the blue card. Uh, Overall, really good. With also not that many blue units, he can basically run in freely. Like this is probably the only unit he has to worry about. And even then, he's type neutral defensively for 100 counts, so that's also really good. So I think overall he's just a consistent good unit right now. So that's why I have him number 6. Number 7 is Red Zamasu. Um, at first I really thought he wasn't that great. My I still think the best description of him is like a combination of uh, yellow Elf Rosé and red Elf Broly as one unit, but all their weaknesses got fixed, kind of. Like, he's not as frail as Broly at all, by also having a similar unique gauge, but in which his case it fills up faster, and at the same time he has like his unique gauge style, and also the problem fixed that he doesn't have to get a green or blue to just get rid of his unique gauge, but it depletes by itself. He does really good damage. He works well with, for example, with these two on one team. Yeah, you can leader slot him, and then put these two, and you have basically Super Free and God Key, or you play these two and, for example, Ultra Rosé or this Rosé, and you kill the team. Like, there are many options for him in a good strike-based build. He does good damage. At higher stars, he's really good at sustaining. Like, if you get comboed and afterwards has a green card, he's almost to full health. So, and I have him at 7 stars, and that happens to me a lot too, so that's really crazy. While also destroying Dragonball, so getting Vanish back with the green. But he also doesn't have really anything against, for example, cost increase, key reduction, card destruction, minus card draw speed, or anything like that. So it's also really easy, not easy, but it's not that hard to stop his combos or his rampage. So that's I would say issue with him, but I think it's also good because I think they make it perfect so he doesn't snowball into his unique gauge every single time over and over and over to be like this guy, because that would be really annoying to if he just comboed forever. So I think he's well balanced and solid. But we have to see how he ages, because that's the only blue right now. And for example, if they release a new Ultra Blue unit, that could maybe really hurt this guy. But we have to see. But for now, I think he's a solid character. And yeah. Now to the next character on the list. I wasn't sure how to do this because these two are the units I face the least. But I gonna put Goku there. Never think about it while talking about it at the same time right now. I really hate that they brought this guy out before the new better version, honestly, because as I already said, every green card's really strong now, and they released a unit that forces every green cards out of his way. That's really annoying. I already hated him before the Battle version update because it was like nobody likes AoE green cards and you release a unit that basically is like Gotenks with an AoE green card. He's squishy, yes, but it's just annoying as hell. And if you pair him well up with him, you get armor break and AoE green cards, and yeah, it's just really annoying. I hate this unit. He's probably the best answer to snipe this guy, I think. I only have him 3 stars and never used him because I don't want to. I hate this unit. But I think his lock-in ultimate with full unique gauge could maybe be an issue for him. Not as big to, I would say that he gets really affected by it, but it could be something. But his area green card is just annoying. But he is at the same time also frail, and if he is longer on the battlefield than 10 Tanner cards and Marge Vegeta gets him, ultimate, he's done. So that's so sometimes he doesn't. If he doesn't get really combos off with his AoE green card, I don't feel like he's doing that much, to be honest. And I'm glad that he doesn't because I don't like him. Like I hate AoE green cards. I hate that he spams them, especially if you pair him up with other units that have AoE greens or units that produce more greens. It's just really annoying. And the second unit kind of debating on with him is Daima Goku. The problem is don't see them as much in PvP. I have more experience, of course, with Daima Goku because he's longer out. And I think Daima Goku, the thing is, he can be really, really strong, but sometimes he's just, yeah, dying really quick. He's also really frail. Sometimes I can't really judge him. It's like he's around from here to here sometimes because it's always so different how he performs against me. Like he is obviously has really good damage with his strike cards, and his lock-in blue card with endurance tool can be really, really strong. So that's a thing, and that makes him really dangerous. As units like Marge Vegeta get stumped. Beast Gohan, if his type neutrality runs out, can be sniped by him, so that's really crazy. But I have so many situations where he just dies so early, especially against them sometimes, because he's so frail. And I also think he is right now kinda no, he kinda needs Tamagami number 3 to get more green cards going, to get his unique gauge faster. His anti a green card ability is really nice. That's also a good thing for him. I forgot to mention that. Um, but yeah, it's really hard to say where to if I put him at 8 or 9 or maybe even 7. I can't. I'm not really sure. I think maybe I'm gonna put him at 8 because I have more experience fighting him, and I think he is more of an issue than this Goku is. Because this guy you can't rush him even because he gets endurance if you do, and he heals a lot. Not a lot, but he heals if you use blue cards or ultimates against him. So and I think he is more dangerous than this guy is. He's more annoying with his AoE green cards. That's, I think, really it for me. But this guy can like really destroy you if you don't pay attention. Like, he gets his anti-endurance on green cards, so sometimes you can even just pop a green card and then strike because he does a lot of damage and kill these guys, for example. So that's really strong. And yeah, um, yeah, I think 8 for Daima Goku is better, and 9 for this guy. And number 10, that's also something I'm not sure with. I will put the units up I think about, and then I will talk about them. So where do I start? I think we'll start with this guy. Ultra Rose pairs up really well with on Future or slash God Key. With, for example, the team I played is these two with God Goku. It works really well. You can double Zenkai buff them, but also give him a Zenkai buff with the yellow Broly. And this is a really strike-based team that does a lot of damage. Um, the nice thing about him is that he has multiple ultimates, so that's a good thing against him. So get his buff removal away really early. I also think because of his unique equipment, he has uncancelable cover null, so he can come in and rush freely against this guy, even though he's on standby with his unique gauge. So that's honestly really helpful. Um, and yeah, I think he's overall really good. His blue card is still annoying, also uh, inflicting paralysis and canceling other blue cards. Um, and yeah, I think overall that makes him really good in RB number 10. Then there's also Ota Gohan, short animation AoE Greek card, which is even better now because it's really hard to punish this guy, but he also has his dumb armbar break and he profits from the new battle version update as well, so that's also a thing. I just think he's not that versatile on teams. Like he's on hybrids and that's about it. Really, I don't see him in any other team, but he provides a lot of value to the hybrid team. The armor break alone is just crazy with this counter blue card, with the counter unique gauge, and all that annoying stuff. Um, so yeah, that's also a good argument for him. And then Trunks, I will say he is probably the least to make it on this top on the number 10 spot, but he's very close. Like at first I thought like okay, he has no card draw speed, he has not that good cover, no, he's not that great, but I'm using him now. I have him at I had him at I put him once, pushed him to 6 stars, 7 stars, and now 8 stars on the way to 9. Um, he is a lot of help against this annoying guy. Because he seals mains and destroying cards and he cover chases twice. And if you know, keep that, you have him in the back every time this guy comes in, you can kind of prevent him from starting to destroy your team. And that's really big in my opinion. Like a way to stop this guy is just massive helpful, but also being immune to cost increase, so he's good against this guy. And being a red unit, he can tank well, he can heal well as too. Sometimes I throw him into a rush and he is like taking what 3 million damage and then heals up to almost full health after the rush because he heals like what 30% of the damage he gets. So yeah, he works on a lot of teams. He can be used on hybrids. He can be used on Vegeta Clan and on Future. I think thanks to him, Vegeta Clan is right now a viable team to run. And he's not a liability. And the thing is, I don't have a Zenkai buff on my team, and he still does his work. So I think that's really nice to have a good 1% sparking unit that isn't like you don't need a Zenkai buffer for him. He's kind of like Tamagami in that regard, but compared to Tamagami, he has more teams. Tamagami number 3 is just focused about Daima Goku, really, and this Trunks kind of is more like versatile. I think even more versatile maybe than this guy in terms of teams, maybe. Well, I think okay, maybe Goku Black is a bit more has more teams, I think, or more team variety. But yeah, it's really hard to decide which one I should pick. Honestly, the thing is, he is a free to play, not free, 1% sparking, so it's easy to get in higher stats compared to these guys. And this guy, if you don't have him at 7 stars or higher, his unique equipment isn't as good. Who do I decide to pick? It comes, I like him more, but I, man, it's tough. I think I'm gonna put him not there just because I think these guys provide more, kind of. This guy provides more, but I think this unit is just better. Um, screw it, I put him at number 10 and these two down. But I think these two, if I had to order things, I put maybe this Gohan there is the like number 11 spot and him number 12. But I think they all deserve to be around the 10 spot. Um, so I'm gonna leave them here, but Ultra Rose is gonna be the official number 10 unit. Okay, now I want to talk about some honorable mentions or units that didn't make the list. I think the biggest one that people maybe gonna ask is why why is Vegito not with them here or even at the list? I think it's really noticeable how he's easy to stop sometimes. That's the first thing. Like he's not immune to debuffs, so this guy hurts him. These guys can hurt him with a minus card draw speed. Um, post if he has a if he enters his full unique age, he is immune to key reduction and card destruction, but that's only for 5 counts, and afterwards this guy can switch in, this guy can destroy some cards, this guy can this guy especially can hurt this guy too, with destroying his cards and sealing his main ability so he can transform, which hurts him more than this guy, because this guy needs a combo to get his unique gauge filled, and this guy doesn't. So that's a big difference between these two, and it's noticeable a lot that he kinda has these issues to get his unique gauge filled on time, like compared to other units, while also being like the how many grief unit on this list. Like he's now replaced by this guy. their roles reverse kinda during the new releases. And then you have him versus Goku, where God Goku he gets double card draw speed and all his damage early. So he in early game to mid game, he's just way better than Vegito is. And if this guy gets a lot of issues to transform with a full unique gauge and everything, this guy just outclasses him hard. And it's also easier to kill this guy compared. Like a March video can possibly snipe him and so on. This guy can snipe him. That's also an issue. So he gets hurt by him, and he has to compete with these guys. And if you look at this guy, he is better against Beast Gohan than this guy is. So I would say these three all have a better green unit right now, while he's also blast based as well, which matters because if you want to when you want to pair him up with him, this guy prefers more strike cards, so Rose works better, this guy works better, and this guy works better. And this guy is doing everything he does except for the anti unique gauge thing against these two, but that really doesn't matter. Like Super Saiyan Goku can just rush this guy or just combo this guy to death or combo this guy to death. So yeah, he really doesn't have any favor right now, so it's there's no point in running him, I would say. Like he's not bad, but these guys just are the better green unit right now and work better with the other units than or against Beast Gohan than he does. Then this guy, Gogeta Blue, I just want to mention him shortly. He's solid, but he's also very frail. Like I had a lot of situations where this guy just snipes him. There's also no rush protection ability or anything, so it's really reliant on Beast saving him, and if Beast gets his buff removal away, this guy gets easily rushed, and his green card is kind of situational, so it really depends. So yeah, but I think he's solid, so you can use him, but I wouldn't call him like number 10 or anything. This Rose, I think, is kind of underrated right now. His anti-cover change thing is really good if you want to rush, even though Beast still has his buff removal / unique gauge ability on standby. And it also helps units like Zamasu and God Goku who have inconsistent cover null, I would say. Like, with him, in his case, it's not that it's inconsistent, but it's more like if you don't have a green card, you have to land a card first to get his cover null. So if you use a strike card and someone cover changes, he can be stopped. And this guy with his ability can kind of, you know, how I say it? It kind of helps him to get his combo started regardless if he has cover null or not. So it took me long to say that. But for example, if you run these, I run these three in one team, and I always started with him. If I get a tackle off, or for example, I just strike card, they can't do anything about it because in the first 15 counts, he gives the whole team anti-cover change. So that's really strong. And he is, I mean, he started painted, but he can tank well by also having anti has this buff removal against rushes and ultimates, which can be useful against him a little bit. So I think he is so good right now. Not number 10 or anything, but I think he's usable. He's not as bad as many people think. And I think a lot of people get the anti-cover change thing, which helps a lot to get a rush off, and then people switch him in thinking they could cancel it, and then they find out they can. It also works against ultimates, so that helps him too with his multiple ultimates to get them in for sure. So that's nice. And Tamagami, a well-proper unit that is, I would say, the only one that can tank Super Saiyan 3 Goku's combos without any issue. He can get rushed for, but that's about it. And but he's really good. He works well with Daima, but he is just like kind of limited to one team. Also having no Zenkai buffer hurts him a bit, but I think he's overall fine. So yeah, this is my top 10 tier list. Number 1 and 2 are decent. Transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Number 3 and 4 are Majin Vegeta and God Goku. Number 5, Trunks slash Gohan. Number 6, Gotenks. Number 7, Fuse Samazu. Number 8, Dama Goku. Number 9, IT Goku. And the number 10, Ultra Rose. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. You can, if you disagree with some of these placements, write it down in the comments and explain why. I'd like to hear your opinion. Maybe I have some things that I forget to mention or didn't consider. And yeah, I wish you a nice day and bye.